We good? Talking to myself.
We're good. I'm not about him.
Put that volleyball in here, Wilson, and I'll talk to him. Excited for our homecoming week here at NC State, and 3:30 kick and sold out crowd. Look forward to having a great crowd with our fans and student section, and obviously need the great support that we can get with our crowd noise. It's good to be back home after the road games and getting back at 3 in the morning. It's nice for our guys to play in this stadium and be able to play in front of our fans. Obviously disappointed with the outcome, and a football game that had a lot of offense in it for both teams. We dug a hole early in the game and was proud of how our guys battled and fought ourselves out of it, and had the ball, the chance to win the game, and didn't get it done. I'm proud of the players' grit and their resolve and the way they continued to fight and show heart, and because of that I know we can win a lot of football games, and that's the one thing that I'm proud of our guys about. I thought, Jermaine Pratt and Kelvin Harmon and Ryan had big games, made a lot of huge plays, and probably definitely career best for Kelvin and Jermaine. The two offenses, two senior quarterbacks that were on fire, and two defenses that struggled. And obviously we didn't get off the field on third down and had some costly pass interference calls that put us in a position of playing catch-up quite a bit in the second half. To get them in 3 third and 11 plus situations and not get off the field was hard to overcome. And we need to get more pressure. We need to, continue to work hard on our pass fundamentals defensively and finishing, on third down, which we've been good on that down and distance defensively and offensively, and we were not in that game. But, offensively, I thought we moved the ball well. I like how aggressive we were. I thought we made some explosive plays. We got to continue to stay aggressive and do our best to protect Ryan. I thought there was a couple points in the game where we didn't do that as well as we have, and it hurt us. And, just to continue to work hard at first down, second down efficiency, so you're creating those third and medium, third and short opportunities. Obviously played without 4 starters in that game, and had some young guys, get some serious reps in the football game. And, I thought Tayshawn Smith, he played the entire game against a team that threw the ball like that. They had the 2 penalties, which hurt us. But, he's going to get better. He's a true freshman. That was his first college start. Tyrone Riley played his first full game with Witt being out. And obviously Ricky didn't play and Steph didn't play. We expect all those guys except for Steph to be back. I'm not sure when. I think Witt and Nick will be back this week. Ricky, we're still waiting to see where he's at as the week continues, but he is progressing and looks good. And Steph, unfortunately, will be out for the season and is going to have a small surgery to repair a high ankle sprain, and expect a full recovery for him. Same thing that James Smith-Williams had, and he's doing great now. So nothing that'll limit him, in his future, but we'll obviously keep him out for the next 6 weeks. And he'll remain, with our team as a captain and a leader, and I know he'll do everything in his power to return to full strength, and expect him to. But it's kind of where we're at last week, getting ready for Florida State, and a very, very athletic offense. When you look at their skill players, it's what you would expect to see. Francois is a very good quarterback and has a great deep ball. Tailbacks, are experienced guys. Akers is a very good running back. I think the receiver, Terry, number 15, is a very good player, very explosive, big, and causes concerns. And their tight end, McKitty's doing a really good job. Their slot receiver, Murray, is a guy that makes a lot of plays after the catch with their quick game, their screens, and their up-tempo offense. And defensively, it's without a doubt the best pass rushing defensive end in the league right now with his production. And Burns, number 99, with 11.5 TFLs and 9 sacks. So you got to know where he is. I think he's a really good pass rusher. And big guys inside. They rotate quite a few guys in the middle, and athletic in the secondary, and play a lot of man-to-man coverage, a lot of quarters coverage. But they're a disruptive front, and they forced 11 turnovers. They got 25 sacks, which is 3 a game. And so, like every week, you're playing against a different type of defense, but, you know, a good defense for our offense to compete against. Questions?
Do you look at the pass defense and think we just played the two best teams in the league, quarterbacks in the league, that you can play? Or do you look at, like, we got major problems on our pass defense that we need to fix?
Right. Well, I think you have to look at all of it. And, you know, anytime you lose, you're going to look at every single thing like, oh, my God, that happened, you know. And then you look at the game and you're like, if we get one more stop, don't have a pass interference, we're off the field on 3rd and 11 and we win the game. The line of questioning, the line of thinking is different. I look at it like there's a lot of plays that we've got to make, and why aren't we making them? And whether you win or lose, we had 3 freshmen playing in the secondary at one time in that game, and that, you know, is a little bit of it. You know, you got true freshmen, and then you got Tanner Engel, true freshman. I guess one of them's a sophomore, Chris Ingram, and so you're very young against a really good passing offense, and that's part of it. But the pass game fundamentals have to improve, and that's something that we got to continue to work hard with the guys. And we're in really good position on some plays, and I think that's something that happens with young players. Instead of playing the ball, they get nervous and they grab an arm of a receiver, and that's something that you see a lot in young defensive backs. And as they play more, they get more and more confidence, and they start playing the ball better. And so we just got to keep working on those techniques and those fundamentals. And, you know, when you're playing against a wide open team like that, you're going to have, regardless of zone or man or blitz, coverage one-on-ones at some point in time. But, you know, it wasn't really an issue, in my opinion, of doing the wrong things. It's we need to do the things we're doing better. We need to mix things up and give them a little more help, and we need to get more pressure, and all that ties together. But it all goes back to fundamentals, and, you know, and like you mentioned, we played 2 pretty good offenses, but that's not an excuse. We need to play better, and that's something that our guys take personal, our coaches take personal, and that's what we'll be gearing up for.
Coach, you mentioned obviously Steph being out for the season. What's the plan with him now at this point? Is his career over as far as playing on the field for NC State, or is there a chance to look at a medical redshirt with him?
You know, we've called compliance about that. I don't know if it's real or not, and we won't for a while. What I told him was, let's get you healthy. He won't play this year because his procedure will keep him out for the year. He'd be 100% probably sometime in January or February. And whether we get a 60-er for him or not, I have no idea. I mean, we just found out today that he was having surgery. So, and, you know, we'll just have to see where that goes. And he may not want that. You know, he may be ready to move on. We haven't had that discussion. I just wanted to make sure he was okay mentally and that he felt good about his plan and, you know, which doctor is he going to go to and all those kind of things for him.
Sort of piggybacking off Joe's question about pass defense, how have you thought your run defense has been the last 2 games comparatively? I mean, the numbers look good.
Yeah, I think they are. I mean, there's a couple runs down inside the 5-yard line that we've let go in too easy. We were out of a gap in the last play of the game against Syracuse, and you know, the game before that, Clemson, we were out of our gaps a couple times, and you know, that's where we've seen. And I think it's just, you know, guys trying to make a play down on the goal line instead of just fitting it like they did out in the field, because they weren't anything magical. It wasn't like they ran some special run play, you know. But numbers are good there. I mean, but it's not just that. Like, scoring defense, number 1, turnover margin. I mean, those are the things we really, really care about. Red zone defense, 3rd down defense. But we can't be 14th, you know, in pass defense, and that's something that we, you know, obviously don't want to see. And we've got a lot of work left to do to improve that, and that's where the focus is right now.
Obviously, Ryan had a great game against Syracuse, but you guys are, I think, have 1 win in his career when he has to throw the ball more than 40 times. How important is it for this team to get out in front of a game to where you can find that balance with the run game and the pass game that you like?
Well, it helps because you can be balanced like you're talking about. You know, when your last 2 games were down by a bunch in the first quarter, it's just, you know, I thought that Eli did a good job of not getting into 2-minute offense too early. You know, like we kept running our offense and moving the ball down the field with different schemes. We weren't just all of a sudden in 4 wides throwing it every snap, you know. But to be a balanced football team, you know, to have play actions and boots that can come off your run game. It's hard when you're down 21 to be in that mode. And throwing the football 40 to 50 times isn't ideal. But we had a chance to win that football game doing that because we were scoring points. And a couple drives we settled for field goals. Those were drives that you look at, and if we could have got a touchdown here, obviously it changes the outcome of the game,
Coach, after 2 straight losses, have you seen your leaders kind of calm the guys, say, hey, everything's going to be okay,
Yeah.
that sort of thing?
The guys are good, I mean, this is a great group of guys. That's the first thing. And I told the guys that after the game, and again when we met yesterday. They deserve to win. They're such good guys, You love coaching these guys, and they care so much about the school and this football team. And so, let's get back to what we do. It's 1-0, and this is the first of 5 that we have left, and focusing in that mentality. What can we do to make a few more plays, and what can we do to score a few more touchdowns? What can we do to get a little bit more pressure? What can we do to help in coverage? And as coaches, taking it as it's our job to help them, and as players, it's their job to execute the plan. And just that's what we do. And I think our guys understand it, and they all understood that they battled themselves back into from a tough spot to a winning position and didn't finish the game. And all of them would have loved to have had that comeback win. There's no doubt, but I don't think there's anything but leadership going on right now in our locker room. Gary?
I whispered to Jermaine Pratt on the plane that I thought that he had a tremendous performance. Is that one of the best performance of linebacker play that you've seen since you've been here?
Definitely here. I thought he was everywhere, his tackling, his pressure, when he did rush, his coverage. It's unfortunate that he had an interception called back too, because that was a great play and that would have helped us. But he really had a great game.
Do you think now he's moved into the position where he could be called one of the best linebackers, not only in the ACC, but maybe in the nation?
It's hard for me to say that when I don't get to see the nation. I think in our league he is no doubt one of the best linebackers. I don't know what's going on outside of our conference because I don't get to watch it. So comparing him to who I've seen, there's no question about it.
Was you surprised about how tough season that Florida State is having right now? It's been a tough year for them so far.
Yeah, they've gotten better when you watch the film. I think early on it was hard for them, the new system, and obviously struggled early in the season. You do see them, particularly on defense, settling in. They're playing, and I know last week they didn't, but they're playing really good on defense. And their guys know the scheme. You can see it. You can kind of see how it's evolved and how they're trying a lot of things, and it's kind of settled in. And they're disruptive up front. They pressure, over 30% of the time. They play tight coverage, and you see that. Offensively, you see the skill. They're fast on offense. There's been a lot of protection problems for them at times, and whether that continues or not, I know they're working hard to get better on that side of the ball. But I think Coach Taggart's proven that he can build programs, and he's in his first year there, and you see the process where it's each week just getting better.
You mentioned getting more pressure on the quarterback. I think you guys have done more blitz packages this year, obviously because you don't have that same defensive front. Are there any other? Will they let you use a net or a wall or something on defense? Is there a magic potion or something?
What do you mean?
Maybe they'll let you use a broom or something to knock away a pass or an outside object.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. And I think what we're trying to do with our dime package is, give the quarterback different looks and not let them know who the rushers are all the time, and create, different one-on-one matchups for guys based on the protections that we're getting. And we've gotten some good pressure on some of that, but you can't always blitz, you have to be able to drop in coverage, and our drop 8 coverages have been good, but they weren't on 2 of those 3rd and 11s in that game. We were playing underneath 2-man coverage, and the receiver got inside of a guy that's supposed to be inside trailing, and he won on that play twice. And so, we just got to look at what's most successful and how we can again, help our guys be in the best places they can be athletically to make plays.
All 4 ACC teams that you guys have played are in the top 25 this week. Is that something that you point to the guys, like, look at who we've played and we went 2-2 against them, let's not get down on ourselves?
I told him the other day, and I didn't mention top 25. I just said I think we've beaten 2 really good ACC teams and we've lost to 2 good ACC teams. And now we've got 5 games left. And where we go from here is how we handle each week of the season. And at the end of the year, you can look back and be proud of what you've accomplished or disappointed. And you don't want regret, as a football player, the window to play, whether you're a senior or a freshman, and you're 1 play away all the time from not having this game. And so that's what we talked about, and I think they understand. They've played some good football teams, but we expect to win every game. I mean, that's our mentality. We want to prepare to win. We want to practice the right way so we have the opportunity to win, and then we need to go out there and make the plays. And so, that's the approach, and the guys have done a good job, being resilient. I think everyone asked, are you going to get them back for the next game? And we did, and without 4 starters. And that was a good environment. Syracuse had a lot of crowd noise, and so that was good growth. All right, thank you.
Thank you.